Coach, if you want to start us off by commenting on the game, a few brief comments, and then we'll field some questions, please.
Sure. I felt coming into the game it was going to be a coin toss. Two very similar teams. Two teams that like to play fast, possess the puck, play in transition. I think the difference now that the game's over is they're a more experienced team than we are. They made us pay when we made mistakes in our game. It was early. 5 minutes into the game, we had a little breakdown in our system, and then they scored. So they're a good team. I've watched that team grow up. We've played them in the playoffs 3 years in a row, and they've had the same first line for 3 years. So, you know, we have a lot of respect for that team. I think as a group, we showed a little inexperience of playing playoff games at this level, you know, in this kind of environment. I didn't think we were at our best tonight, but we did play well enough to make it a good hockey game. But again, we could have been better, but that's a good hockey team, and they made us pay.
Thanks, Coach. We'll open it up for some questions. Again, please identify yourself and your affiliation. Just raise your hand. Eric has a mic here. Thanks.
Josh Seawin, College Hockey News. Gunnar, how proud you are of this team, you know, that you kind of watched it grow this year, to be honest with you. And how do you feel you're leaving the program with, you know, how it's grown this year?
I mean, just this year we've grown immensely compared to how we've been in the past. This year we had a whole team committed to playing our coach's system, and we had leadership that the whole team followed, and there wasn't any in between. And that's hard to do with a young team, with a young and experienced team, kids coming out of junior, hopping right into it, and they followed right along, and they showed this league what they can do. I mean, we were a top team in this league, and we were picked 11th in the media poll, and then we're in Lake Placid. So just proud of our group. It's the best group I've played with in my 4 years, and there's so much character in that room. We're going to be a good team the next 3 years in the future.
Let's keep the questions going for the student athletes. Matt?
Gunnar, Matt Clarida, Harvard Radio. How close did this group get? I thought it was very telling how you guys all went over to Kyle and spent not just 10 seconds with him, but all sort of gathered around the goal, and obviously your fans fed off that at the end of the game. And how close did the group get by the end of the year, by this playoff run?
We were close off the start, to be honest. I mean, this is the tightest knit group I've been with since I've played hockey. I mean, everyone got along. There's no issues in our locker room. Every guy was friends with everyone, and it showed in the way we play. We play as a team, and we play our system as a team, and everyone comes out every night, does what they can do. And I think that's what you got to do to win championships, is have a team that plays for each other, not for individual play.
Other questions for the student athletes? As you can see, Eric Sweetman joined us.
Yeah, Chris Fitzgerald from Watertown, Daily Times. Yeah, Gunnar, talk about the resilience you guys showed tonight, and coming back to tie it 3 different times, give it overtime.
Yeah, I mean, we drew up our play and we performed it effectively in that last stretch at the end of the third period. We were hungry, and we knew there wasn't panic on our bench. Since when we were down a goal, we weren't panicked. We knew that we were desperate to score a goal, and we were making things happen out there. And that's about it.
Josh?
Yeah, this question's for Eric. The defensive core, you know, with you, Gavin, and the rest of the, you guys are really young. Talk about your maturation process, and how much do you guys feed off of Kyle Hayton's energy? He's probably one of the more emotional players I've seen all year.
I mean, our D-core is very strong. I mean, Hayes always comes up with a big save. I mean, he bails us out a lot, and I mean, he picks us up every time. So I mean, it's hard because we let him down. We let our seniors down. But Hayes is a good goalie, and wish we could have bailed him out sometimes. Like he did for us.
Other questions for the student athletes? One more, Matt.
You guys mentioned being picked 11th. That was the talk in the press box for the entire game. And when you guys got here? I guess for Eric mainly, but where do you think you guys can go with this energy? And obviously, you guys have probably the best fans in the league, but obviously the on-ice product was there this year as well, much better than 11. So where do you think you guys can move on to, and anyone can answer this?
I'll answer it. Last year, we were predicted to finish 11th because we lost a Hobie Baker candidate. We lost a goaltender that had started for 4 years, and we lost 4 of our top 5 scorers. I'm way more concerned next year that we're losing Gunnar Hughes, Pat Doherty, and Chris Martin because they're gutsy kids. It's a lot harder to replace character than it is to replace skill. And you asked about resiliency. We're a resilient team because of the leadership we had. You know, this group, like Gunnar said, it was a fun group to coach. They played hard every night. And there were some games other teams just couldn't compete with us this year. When you get to this level, this stage of the season, you know, the compete's there with everybody. And tonight, like I said, when you asked about resiliency, we got down the goal early. These guys, you know, the season's long enough when you get to this point, 1 goal down, you know, you're going to find a way. Late in the season, we went into RPI and Union, and we had to pull the goalie, I think, both nights. And we had great bids. And so during that timeout, we said, hey, boys, we've been doing this. We've had experience with this lately. We'll get it done. And Gavin's a high-end hockey player, and he scores that goal because there are not many guys that pick that. You know, might have looked easy, but in that situation, he put that puck where he needed to be. So, answering a couple of your questions out there, we're only going to lose 3 players. Everyone's probably going to predict us real high next year. But I'm way more concerned about losing this kid than I was Greg Carey, who was an All-American.
Anything else out there for Coach Carville or our student athletes? One more, Josh?
Coach, you talk about Kyle Hayden a little bit, and we've talked about this before, but how much does this team feed off him? He's, like I said to the kids, he's probably one of the more emotional goalies I've seen.
Yeah, he kind of sums up this year's team. He's a battler. He competes. He's emotional, and he's confident. He's as confident as a kid, and he likes the big stage. And he's a little upset right now because he didn't play his best tonight. And for him, and I'm shocked because usually the bigger the stage, the better he's been for us this year. And so I expected him to be lights out, and tonight just wasn't the case. But he's really, you know, when Gunnar says, you know, we're a young team, and to get everybody on the same page, he helped us. He treaded water for us until we could get on the same page, and very, very deserving of being the Rookie of the Year. Is just compete, you know. He's a battler, and our guys thrive off that. And he brought us energy and confidence every night. And again, the resiliency. We get down by 1. We didn't get down by 2 many times this year, and he was a big reason.
Anything else out there, guys? All right, Coach. Thanks for taking the time. Eric, Gunnar, thanks for taking the time to help us out tonight. Congratulations on a great season.
Thank you.